Hello, Ryan here, aka Mac, and welcome. Today we are back doing some off-grid gameplay. That's Dunburrow over there. And if I'm honest, I have recorded this video already once, but it was dark the whole way through and I found it dull to watch back. So I decided I would redo it, and the subject of this video, as you can probably tell from the title, is how do you go about doing an off-grid type gameplay session? Potentially survival, that is up to you. I just want to run through, because I get a lot of questions about how to go about doing this. If you are wondering what we're doing here, I'm just looking for some hand minables that I saw down by the river, and I'm just going to go and mine a few of them, get a bit of cash. On the previous playthrough, I found 3 ships and I salvaged them. I may show a bit of that footage, I don't know. But yeah, I wanted it to be daytime. So, yeah, I often get asked, how do you do the off-grid survival gameplay? Like, what do you consider? What do you think about? Here they are. Look at them all. See what we got. I don't know what they are. Aphorite. Well, that's a bit nasty. Never mind. It's better than nothing. Let's just have a look around here first, actually. Yeah, what do you do and how do you do it? So I just wanted to shed some light into what the processes are and ways to enjoy yourself doing it, avoiding certain issues. But ultimately, it really starts with just choosing a ship. So a lot of you may only have one ship, so you're limited. And all you need is a ship with a bed. So if you have a ship without a bed, like a Mustang, it's a bit unfortunate and it's not ideal because you will not be able to log out at these sorts of places. You need to have a bed so that you can log in and out of these locations in order to be off-grid. Otherwise, you have to go back to a city or a main port. Look at this place. It is beautiful. Shame there's not a lot of audio going on. They are working on new tech called the Claudius audio system, which will hopefully revitalize the whole of Star Citizen on many areas, as we heard at CitizenCon. So yeah, you need a ship that has a bed. Full stop. That's a prerequisite. Ideally, from there, you will have a cargo hold so you can put stuff in, and then also potentially an interior, in that order of severity. So a bed is a must, a cargo hold is ideal, but not essential, and then an interior is, I suppose if you've got a bed, you're likely going to have an interior of some form. Oh wait, are these no longer showing? Oh, what's this one underneath the ground? Some of them are being picked up, others not so much. And I mean, that your ship can be anything. It can be an Aurora, it could be a Nomad. Something like a Nomad is ideal because you've got interior space and a cargo hold of some decent size. A Titan, an industrial ship like a Vulture or a Prospector because they have interior space and a bed. But that would be my advice for beds, for ships. From there, now this is where it gets interesting because I don't have a backpack, so I can't suck them in. I've got to pick them up. Oh, I don't have a way of storing them either. Hang on, I've got that box. Let me go get that box. There is literally no game like Star Citizen. There's no game that I know of where you can just live your life doing whatever you want to do, chilling out, never knowing what's going to happen, but making your own path. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's plenty of games out there, but not that look this good by any means. And I've left the door open again. I'm such a blooming noob. So I'm just going to leave it open anyway. So the next up, what you need to determine is where do you want your adventure to be or to begin. I chose Astor's Clearing for a few reasons. Mainly, it just looked very nice. It was a beautiful place. Right, let's just empty this. And I wanted to just live there. I loved the location. I loved the forests. And it was just one of the nicer looking places that we have. So that was the main consideration. Why can't I pick this up? Have I balked it with my tool? Let me just go get my tractor beam attachment. So yeah, deciding where you want to be. It could be based purely on aesthetics, what looks the nicest. Ideally, you want a place that isn't classed as a dangerous place. Have I lost my tool? Where is it? There. There we are. I've decided to change back into my my clothing because I have pockets and I can take both with me rather than leaving one behind. In fact, that's what I needed. Let's bring that along. Get here. So, yeah, once you've decided... Well, not once you've decided. Certain things to consider when choosing a place where you're going to start your adventure is what is close by. What is available at the location and what type of location is it? These settlements are ideal. Most of them are ideal because some of them have shops like Dunburrow and Astor's Clearing. They have scrap shops, commodity shops. Some of them have weapon shops and clothing shops. There we go. Which allows you to sell the things that you find. Not minables. Minables need to be sold at human outposts, which is a bit of a shame, but, you know, makes sense. There we go. Also, is the type of location one where dangerous missions pop up? So, missions where players might come to fight things, to take out the enemy NPCs, because although the NPCs might not shoot back at you right now, eventually, I think they will, and you don't want to be getting in the way of that. So places like Astor's Clearing, Dunburrow, Harper's Point, they're sort of casual places. They're not dangerous places, and you can live there quite happily without any issues. The reason why I choose Astor's mostly is because of the way it looks, but as well as there are 2 other outposts, or 3 actually, but 2 other settlements that are marked on the map that are close by and allow you to travel between them quite easily and see what's around. They're not the most frequented by players. They're starting to get a bit more frequently visited. But they are a place where you can log in and one day find quite a lot of stuff from people, and if you don't find anything at Astor's, you can go to Dunburrow, find something there. I do need something to drink. My character's getting a little thirsty. We may have to head off to Dunburrow before after this one. There we go. Right, let me just equip the tractor beam. Boop. It's very cold here as well. That's why I was wearing the undersuit, but I think it's best to go and to this outpost at Dunburrow and just get something to drink. Get a bit quicker though. But yeah, so picking a place is quite important, and I suggest if you're unsure as to where you want to start right now, fly around and have a look. See what options there are, and it has to be either Microtech or Hurston, as they're the only places I think with these settlements. But there are quite a few to choose from. So take a look around, see what you prefer, see which ones stand out to you and what you feel most naturally living at. And if it is something like Harper's Point or Dunburrow or Astor's Clearing, then go for it. To me, it's ideal, and I do love logging in much more now than I did when I had to log in at a city, so it does make a big difference. So, you've chosen a ship, you've chosen the location. Next is to kind of set your rules and restrictions, I suppose. Now, you don't have to have any restrictions or any rules, and I do advise that, actually. You don't have to set yourself any, regulations as to making it challenging or difficult. If you wanted it to be just a simple, I'm just doing what I usually do with all the ships that I have, but I'm bringing this ship here and I'm just going to live here with all the money that I have. Like, for example, using a vulture. It's not a zero to hero, it's not a survival playthrough, it's just enjoying the environment with the ships and stuff you have already. Or you could heavily restrict yourself by saying, I'm going to get rid of all my cash, I'm going to get rid of everything but maybe the clothes on my back. Some more, maybe rock minables down there. And see what you can earn by doing the activities that I'll get to in a second. It is entirely up to you how easy or challenging you want to make it, and that's your decision, your prerogative, based on just what you're after. And you can change that from day to day. If you're like me and you've got an account where you've got quite a few options, you know, you can chop and change each day. If you are brand new to the game, you've only got a starter ship, you are kind of set up for a Zero to Hero challenge anyway, and you can go about it however you see fit. But that is up to you to make those rules. Do you want to go to cities? Do you want to completely avoid cities? Do you want to be able to go to space stations? Do you want to loot outposts, which can be quite easy if you find lots of stuff? If you are wanting to buy ships, then essentially you'll have to go to an outpost at some point, because that's where you buy ships from. Sorry, not an outpost, a city, because you can only buy ships and vehicles from cities. So, in a way, you are restricting yourself by not allowing that. Where am I going? I need to go to a shop. But try a mixture of the two. You know, you don't have to make it super strict. You can just do whatever you feel like doing. But yeah, if it is ships you're wanting to get, then you will likely need to go to a city at some point. But that doesn't mean you have to live at a city. That wasn't the best landing. You can just go there as and when you need to buy a new ship. But once you've established all that, that's sort of the groundwork of what am I using, where am I living, and what are the rules. Then you can determine how you go about doing it. Like, what are you going to do, activities-wise? Right, let's go and get myself something to drink, because I am going to die of thirst otherwise. Whoa. There we are. So, yeah, next up is your goals. What do you want for your character, for your playthrough? What are you wanting to achieve? Do you want to earn ships? Which is going to take time, unless you're getting smaller ships, because you're not going to earn a great amount of money super quick doing this kind of work. There are much quicker ways of doing it, but you will eventually get there. But is it more that you want to get a full armor set? Is there a specific armor set you want to get? What weapons and items and tools do you want to get? Where is this blooming shop? I think it might be over there. For example, do you want to... You know, a multi-tool is definitely a must-have. The various attachments might be must-haves with mining, tractor beams. I think a tractor beam is a must-have. Salvaging attachment, which we'll talk about activities in a second, but that would be very useful as well. Do you want a medical gun? Do you want the dedicated tractor beam, the dedicated salvaging tool? Or do you want to go out and collect artifacts? Do you want to be a bit of a treasure hunter with going to derelict settlements or derelict, like the ruins? Oh, hang on, this isn't necessarily where we get it. It's down here. There we go.
Whoa, welcome.
Let's have a drink. So, yeah, determining what you want to buy. There are places like Dunburrow where you can get these kinds of items. You know, you can buy and sell armor. You can work towards getting a full armor set. Oh, let's get another one, actually. Or just do what I do, which is generally whatever's lying around is what I'll take. But that's not to say that I won't want to come here and pick up a full Morozov armor set. I mean, it's a goal to achieve, right? Because you're talking over 10,000 for the full thing. So it's a lot of money, but if you earn your way up to it, it's going to be quite rewarding. But you could probably loot the majority of the items and then, you know, buy the rest. But ultimately, once you've got all that established, once you've figured it out, and you don't have to be in the game to do this. I often, when I'm coming up with a plan of what to do and what to play, I will do it while I'm trying to get to sleep on a night, which doesn't help me sleep. But by the morning, I'm raring and ready to go. And you can get multi-tools here, by the way, with the medical attachment and the cutting tool, which isn't ideal. You can get the other ones, I think, from the terminal. But then it's more about what activities are you going to do? What do you want your character to do? What is, you know, essentially fun for you? Today, I am doing some hand mining because I love the rivers. I love the fact that hand minables spawn at the rivers and I can go down there and not make a lot of cash because it's aphorite. If I find hadanite, I'll be making a bit more. But also, in order to sell it, I then have to go to the mining outposts. you could just loot. You could just go around looting bodies, looting things you find on the floor. Like the other day I was showing how you can find tons of weapons lying around. Loot the chests that are lying around here. Sometimes they're looted, sometimes they're not. And then going and selling that. You could go to, you know, Shuban outposts and sell items there, like the gems. But as you can see here, you've got a shop terminal. Oh, here's all the attachments and so forth. So that's handy to know. I don't think I've got anything I can sell now. Or you can sell your commodities here. But as I say, I can't sell, like, it says here that RMC is worth 23,000. So that's kind of interesting. Wrong one. Let me just check something. Yeah, it doesn't seem to... Oh, I haven't actually expelled it yet. So you could go around looting things. The things that I would recommend looting... Let's just empty the cargo hold here and see if we can sell that. For 23,000, that would be nice, but I don't think I can. But when it comes to looting, you want to get weapons. Definitely Gemini weapons. They tend to sell for 1,000 apiece. Helmets sell really well. Some of them sell for an astronomical amount. Others don't sell at all because they're classed as subscriber helmets. Or armor sets. Chest pieces sell for quite a bit. Leg and arm armor, not so much. We're talking hundreds for them, which isn't bad, really. Some clothes sell well, some clothes don't. Gems, as I say, mining outposts. It is up, you know, over time you will learn what sells well, what doesn't sell well. Plus, don't forget, with changes to the economy, things are going to change. Wait, what we got here? Yeah, this is the right one. And it's up to you to learn what sells well and what doesn't sell well. And once you figure that out... Come on now. That's weird. Oh, yeah, okay. Well, it doesn't seem to want to sit itself in the cargo hold. But once you figure that out, that's when you can start making some decent cash. I don't know why it's not sitting there properly. But it's there. Let's hope that it gets recognized. Beautiful place, Dunborough. Such a view. You could also... What I like to do is search for cargo that has been dropped by players. So if there's been players that have been attacked, you might find cargo lying around and you can go and sell them at no questions asked terminals, scrap yards. It can be quite dangerous because you don't know who's around waiting to take people out, because essentially you're a criminal if you're taking stolen goods. But obviously I haven't stolen the goods, I've just found them. But it isn't that nuanced at this time. It will be, but it isn't right now. Is this the place now? There is a lot you can do in the terms of looting and scavenging. It's sort of hand in hand. If you find ships lying around that are fair game, I only go for ships that have been already reclaimed by the player. I don't get ships that are still owned. You can do if that's what you want to do, you know. Right, let's just try this. Yeah, cannot sell. Interesting. I don't know why that is. But anyway. You can also, I suppose, pick fruit. These places have small farms and plants growing. You could pick that and you could sell it. You're not going to get much for it. I don't know if it regrows, so I wouldn't recommend it as a viable long-term option. But if you're just starting out, go to the crops, pick them all off, go and sell them. You can buy yourself something, a drink, some food. You can always find food and drink, but if you're struggling to find some, you could always eat the fruit as well. But be careful, some of them aren't edible or they're toxic. Hand mining, as I say, is one that I've just been doing now, and I do enjoy it, but ideally you would have a backpack to do that with, so that you can store them and suck them up through the tractor beam. Sorry, the mining attachment. If you don't have a backpack, they just won't suck up, basically. Scraping hulls is a good option. Right now, though, you can only use the multi-tool salvaging attachment as the SRT canisters. You can't sell the RMC from those canisters. It is a bug. I'm desperately waiting for them to fix that. CIG, if any of you guys are listening, please pass this on to the relevant member of the team. We cannot sell the RMC triple canisters that you get from the dedicated SRT salvaging tool like we can with the multi-tool. Please fix it. I really want to do that. So you can use the multi-tool. Once they fix that, that'll be a bit of a game changer because you can use the dedicated tool as well, and that's kind of essential. Let's head back to Astor's clearing, I think. You can also search for cargo, as I say, and I think the best place of doing that is learning where the trade routes are, learning where cargo haulers go, and, you know, they're A to B points, so you can kind of look along the local area of where they might be filling up, because pirates do attack them and blow them up, and they might drop cargo, and then you can go and get it, and you can sell it. So that is a potential. I have found some cargo on the odd occasion, especially when I go to maybe repair. I might see some lying around. But outside of that, you could go to places like Ghost Hollow, the racetracks. You might find ships to salvage, but Ghost Hollow might be a good place to go. It's dangerous as well. You get a lot of pirates there. It is, you know, the NPCs will shoot at you there, but it's a fascinating place, especially for salvage. You could be a medic. If you get yourself a dedicated medical gun or a paramed tool, you can respond to emergency beacons. Oh, sorry, the medical beacons. So when a player becomes incapacitated, they will put out a medical beacon. You can accept that, go and revive them. I tend to avoid any that are beyond like 4 million in distance, 4 million kilometers, because it's just way too far. But you can earn some decent amounts, you can earn some little amounts. Do check the amount that they're able to pay out. But that's a fun and interesting game path that you can live off-grid and still take part in. You might need to fly them to a location if their ship's busted up. You could sell items to other players as well. Now, I'm yet to do this, but I was reading my comments. I can't remember who it was, so I do apologize, but thank you for the interesting comment. They offered me 10,000 Alpha UEC for the 4x Tau scope. They said they would certainly offer more if I wanted it, but they know that I don't like things to be too easy, so they were being conservative and offering 10,000. There are certain weapons, items, equipment, and things that are only accessible via looting, which kind of makes them not exclusive, but difficult to come by. And what I'm going to start doing more of, if I'm around somewhere like Astor's Clearing and another player comes along and I've got some gear in the back that I can't really sell at the local locations because they're not buying it or it's just not worth anything, I might offer it to them and ask them if they are interested, offer a price, negotiate a price, and then, you know, get them to pay and drop it on the floor for them to pick up and trade that way. We will eventually get a proper trading system. CIG want that. They're just other things going on right now. But we can kind of do it. And I think that's a great way of making some additional cash while helping others and having some interesting interactions. But aside from that, the other two things that you can do, which don't earn you cash, but I find interesting all the same, are decorating your ship with items you find, be that artifacts, Hadesian artifacts, or medals, you know, the old UPE or UNE war medals, gems, bottles, weapons, tools, items that you find lying around, fruit. You can just decorate your internal space as you want it to be decorated, fill up the weapon slots, and just enjoy having a place to call home. Also, maintaining your ship. Now, I don't think I've got any damage at this time, but over time, the wear and tear and degradation system, or the damage system if I'm crashing into things, which is quite often, your ship will get holes and marks and dents, and you can fix them up using a multi-tool, a full SRT canister, which you have to fill. You can either buy or fill by scraping the hull or something, or, you know, I can use my prospector my vulture to fill that up. Oh, there's a ship here. Star Runner. Of course, you can actually sell those to people. Like, I could make a side business of selling tractor beams. If someone wants a tractor beam, I can make one for them and sell it to them. In fact, the door looks like it's been shot open, or tried to be shot open. So there are other ways you can make cash outside of the norms. I wouldn't even bother doing missions, in all honesty. unless you're going to use them as location markers to get to somewhere, because missions can be balked, and I just like doing things off my own back. But that is essentially how you go around doing this off-grid stuff. There is a lot to it, and there's a lot of scope. Some things are easier than others, based on just what the game is allowing or what bugs are present at this time. But I highly recommend doing it because I want to jump in and play when I do this. When I spawn in at a city, I really don't feel like it, and it bores me. So I do suggest giving it a go, and what I plan to do for future videos... Oh, it's an upside-down star runner. Interesting. Let's just see what's happened here. What I plan for future game modes is running as a medic in an environment, you know, doing an off-grid medic where I wait for beacons to pop up. Doing, you know, responding to it and then coming back and logging out at the outpost. Doing off-grid mining, so instead of having a vulture, take a prospector and see what minables are around. I don't think this is fair game because I'm not able to... It's not telling me it's game rules. And I suspect they've got... Yeah, it's shielded, so I can't even pick it up and flip it over if I was possibly able to. Am I landing you down? I think it might have been. But also being a treasure hunter. So living at a place like this, I don't know what ship to use just yet, but heading off with a weapon and going to these ruined settlements, not like these, but ruined locations where the NPCs live, and seeing if I can just loot the artifacts, the war medals, and collecting them, not for any other reason than just keeping hold of them, because I don't think you can sell them for much. People might want to buy them from you, but I think that might be interesting gameplay as well as kind of being a different character in the verse. So, as I say, I've got a lot of choice there on what to do, being a treasure hunter, a miner, a medic, maybe even getting a ground vehicle and seeing what I can do with a ground vehicle. But that is essentially how you live off-grid. And you can make your own rules, you pick your ship, you pick your location, and then you just go through that list and do whatever you want to do day to day. But for me, the most fun I ever have is when I have these random interactions with players, and you just never know what's going to happen or what you're going to find from day to day thanks to persistence. And I don't know if I've mentioned it already, but Cloud Imperium are well aware of this type of gameplay. This is what they want as well. They don't just want people min-maxing all the time. They want a whole dichotomy of different game modes, or not game modes, but different things for players to do. This is just one of them, and they will fully support this kind of thing. And it's just going to grow, especially from 3.23 onwards. We're going to see so many more opportunities for people on all scales, those who want to make millions and those who just want to live in the verse. They do want it all. They want everything. And Star Citizen will be everything. It'll just take a bit of time, that's all. But with that said, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and as I've got many big plans for more off-grid living. Do let me know what you're interested in when it comes to off-grid living, and if there's anything specifically you want to see, if there's a specific ship you want to see if it's available. I do recommend taking smaller ships than the larger ships because you can land them easily at these locations, but large ships are fine if that's what you want to do. But yeah, if you do enjoy this content, please do hit subscribe. Also, come and hang out over at twitch.tv/SuperMacBrother. You are all more than welcome over there. I'm doing some of this. I'm doing other stuff, as well as just chilling out and chatting about all things Star Citizen. So, if you've got any questions, if you're new to the verse, or you just want to hang out with like-minded people and just enjoy good conversation about Star Citizen, come and hang out with us. Hit the thumbs up if you don't mind. It does the channel a big favour, and tick that notification bell if you'd like to be notified when my videos go live. Again, I say again, I haven't said it yet, but a massive, huge thank you to all of my patrons and channel members for all of your support, helping me do this kind of stuff. It is truly appreciated. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.